Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? You guys are awake? Had some breakfast? We're good? Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, millionaires and billionaires, prepare to be amazed as we transform your Amazon marketing strategies with just a dash of magic. Now, you know the saying that a magician never reveals their tricks? Yeah, well, it's a good thing I'm not a goddamn magician then, because I'm going to be revealing all of my tricks on how you can essentially rank better, sell better, essentially sell like magic. So today I'm going to lay out all the cards for you. We're going to reveal some tricks to help you rank more. And without you having to worry about your competition. Essentially, we'll make them disappear. All right, so without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Oh, wait. That's not supposed to happen, guys. Can someone bring my presentation back? Just search for my slides. What is going on here? Kevin? Oh boy. Well, it appears that someone wanted to sabotage my presentation because apparently these tricks are way too hot for you guys to know about. So, let's heat this up. I mean, I told Kevin I was going to bring the heat, and I know we're in Hawaii, it's hot enough, but the AC's blasting, so let's rock and roll. So, for those of you who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Melisa. I'll be honest, public speaking scares the shit out of me, which is why I like to hide between magic and a little bit of humor, amateur magic, that is. Except I'm equally bad at both of those things, so let's see how this goes. Apparently, this information is valuable enough, though, to have earned me a spot on this stage. So thank you, Kevin, and thank you to whoever it was that mentioned my name and put a little bug in your ear. Well, was it Norm? But basically, instead of trying to rizz you guys up with my Canadian charm, I'm going to just let the numbers speak for itself. So as you already know, I'm not actually a magician. I sell on Amazon. I am a consumable seller. So I actually sell in the beauty space, in the health space. I started my first brand in the beauty space about 8 years ago. And this brand went on to do $1 million in its first year of selling on Amazon. And then my first product that I actually ever launched, that made me $1 million in profit. And I ended up selling that company 2.5 years later. So not only that, but I've also co-founded multiple companies, one of which was a supplement brand. And now everyone that I talked to in the Amazon space, they were like, you are crazy. You should not be selling in supplements. It is the most competitive category to sell in. And I was like, whatever, I like a challenge. So decided to build that brand up to 8 figures and was able to exit that brand in less than 3 years. And we're actually prepping for a third exit this year. So I know Scott's here. We'll chat. I heard Quiet Light also is here. Would love to chat. All right. So I've actually sold over $30 million on Amazon alone. We sell off of Amazon as well. So I am going to be sharing some secrets on how to drive external traffic. And then I'm also a firm believer that, you should do the things that you love. So I recently started an escape room business. A lot of fun. It's something that brings me a lot of joy. Whenever I travel, I love doing them. Actually, you guys are in an escape room right now, so doors are locked. You have an hour to figure out how to get out. Anyways, I recently joined on board as their CMO for Trapped, which is Canada's largest escape room business. And currently there's 15 locations, another 27 on the way. So we're going to continue multiplying that. And we're actually bringing some of these locations to the US. So feel free to ask me any franchise questions if you have them. All right. So in this session, I'm actually going to be talking about some of these powerful marketing magic tricks, some of which are like how we can make our competitors disappear, how to rank on page 1 in 7 days or less. I know a lot of people want to do that. Magically index on Google for free. Yep, we love free. Also how to use the power of Reddit and combine it with TikTok to create keywords out of thin air that have virtually no competitors. All right. And the best and most important thing about these tricks is you can implement them fairly quickly. They're very actionable, and also pretty cheap to do, if not free. Most of them anyways. But instead of, burning through money, I'm going to show you guys how to multiply it instead. All right. So, I actually needed that $1. Does anyone have $1 I can borrow? Anyone in the audience? I know someone has $1, maybe a couple millions of them, Anyone? Come on up. Perfect. Love that. I just need $1. All I need is $1. Actually, do you want to come up here? Come up, Dima. Perfect. All right. Do you have $1?
I have 50. I have 100.
This guy's loaded.
Let's do 100.
I need $1.
Well, let's do 20. It's fine.
20?
It's
Okay.
fine.
20 is fine. Okay. Perfect. Oh, he has $1. It's more impressive if I could do $1. Okay. Do you want to come up here, actually?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm sorry. We're swapping you out. I need a new assistant. Come on up. Come on up. The price is right. And what was your name? Dan? Stan. So nice to meet you, Stan.
Nice meeting you.
Everyone give a round of applause to Stan, my beautiful assistant here. Perfect. So he gave me $1 bill. This is a very crisp $1 bill, probably fresh off the printer. All right. Just going to show you guys both sides. Beautiful. All right. So what if I told you I could actually cut your marketing costs in half? Does that sound good? All right. Well, I'll do you one even better. We're actually going to multiply that and 100x your $1. $100. That's for you. There you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You just 100x your $1. Perfect. All right. Beautiful. So instead of burning through your cash, which I know a lot of you probably do spend a lot of money on marketing, well, a lot of these tricks are going to be pretty organic and things that you can implement, like I said, pretty much right away, because you're going to stop burning it and we're going to multiply it instead. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you guys in this presentation. So starting off with my first trick, you're going to make your competitors disappear. The first tool that we're actually going to use is called Pixelfy Me, and basically what we use is called a Supreme URL 3.0. I know someone mentioned super URLs. We don't do super URLs anymore. That's so 2016. So with the Supreme 3.0 using Pixelfy Me, basically all you'll need is an ASIN. So your ASIN for the product that you're selling. And then you're going to insert the keywords that you actually want to rank for. You can put multiple and it's going to create you multiple links. And then you can actually turn it into a rotator URL, which I'll explain a little bit shortly. And we all know that when we search for any single product on Amazon, you're bombarded with a bunch of different competitors, a bunch of selection, and it really is overwhelming. So when you're sending people to search for a specific keyword, and especially if you're a new product, you're not ranking anywhere near page 1. So here comes our Supreme URL. Basically, you're able to isolate your product on a search, but targeting a specific keyword. And not only that, how it works is it basically acts as a Google redirect URL. So it's as if someone is searching this keyword on Google and then they're directed to Amazon. And if they purchase your product on Amazon with that keyword, it's going to give you ranking juice. That's going to help you rank pretty rapidly. And this is very, very powerful. And this is what we use for a lot of our products that we actually launch. Not only that, but if you want to rank for multiple keywords, you can use a link rotator URL, and you can also create it within Pixelfy Me. So if you have multiple keywords that you want to target, some of which may be, higher volume keywords, these are going to be a lot harder for you to rank for. Well, you can actually set weights to these. So instead of having it as a sequential link, for example, it's just going to give you, rotate through them evenly. You can actually set a percentage of the time that this keyword is used within that rotator URL. So super cool, especially if you want to prioritize a specific keyword that you really want to rank for. And this is so powerful, especially for, email marketing. If any of you guys do that, you can actually send people using this link and it helps you track that traffic as well. All right. Now, for my next trick, using that link that we are creating through Pixelfy Me, we're actually going to be combining it with a platform called Brand Expand. Has anyone used Brand Expand before? No? Okay, so this is great. This is going to be brand new information for you guys. Brand Expand is a platform that has a bunch of trusted buyers, and it can help you launch a organic campaign. So if you're not very good at getting people to purchase your product, and obviously this is just for ranking purposes, and to at least get you closer to page one, if not on page one. So what we're going to do is create an organic launch. Using this feature, basically you can set up a giveaway campaign where you reliably get a predetermined number of purchases for your product. Yes, you are going to be essentially reimbursing them, but there's no API connection. It's Brand Expand that actually pays them, so there's no link to you whatsoever. But basically, this is how you can rank for any keyword in less than 7 days. So if you set it up as a linear campaign, this is going to be the most organic looking campaign because your sales gradually increase day by day. And when you set this up, you can have buyers either search for a keyword or for your brand, whatever it is, or you can use a Pixelfy Me link. And that's going to help you get hyper-targeted purchases for those keywords. And therefore, you will shoot up in rank for those keywords. So this is just an example of a product that we launched. It was a salmon oil product, arguably very competitive, right? I think it was like over 20,000 searches a month at the time. So we were able to, in less than 7 days, hit page one and rank position number 6. And not only that, but it also gave us ranking juice for a bunch of other keywords that we had implemented throughout our listing. So back end, front end, titles, bullet points, all the things that you want to index for will also increase in organic rank as well. So that kind of helps, sort of like high tides rise all ships, All right. Now for trick number 3. I'm going to show you guys how to magically index on Google for free. Who here loves free? Me. Everyone say me. All right, perfect. So what is a sitemap? Is anyone familiar with sitemaps? Yeah, okay, a couple people. That's awesome. So a sitemap is a file that essentially provides information about the pages on your website and other multimedia, so videos, photos, things like that. And it acts as a roadmap for search engines like Google. Basically, it helps them to discover and index all the content that's on your website way more efficiently. So why are sitemaps important? Well, first of all, a sitemap actually helps Google crawlers find and index all of the pages on your website. And with that being said, it's going to include any, updated or new content. And this is going to ensure that your content on the site is fully accessible to Google. And that way it can properly be ranked. By submitting a sitemap to Google or other search engines, you're essentially providing Google with a direct route to find your content a lot faster. And this can lead to indexing of new pages a lot faster. It's going to improve your chances of ranking. It's also going to allow you to include pages that aren't easily discoverable, especially through links alone. So for example, any media files, videos, photos, this will help Google understand the full scope of your site's content. And the really cool thing is you can embed metadata into your photos to help you rank those photos on Google Images. And I actually have a SOP on how to do this, which you guys can scan the QR code at the very end on how to do that step by step. And it's pretty simple. And then it also acts as a diagnostic tool. So Google's Search Console, they will actually provide you with a sitemap diagnostic report. And if you have any broken links or anything that just isn't working, it's going to give you some improvements and things that you should be doing to your website in order to rank better on Google. So does anyone here sell off of Amazon or on Shopify or has a Shopify website for their brand? Okay, that's great. So if you do use Shopify makes it super easy to access your sitemap. So if you go to yourdomain.com, so like if your brand is, billion-dollar-seller-summit.com /sitemap.xml, you can actually download it and export it from this link very easily, and then upload it directly to the Google Search Console. So when you Google Search Console, on the left-hand side, there's going to be a thing that says sitemap. All you got to do is insert that link for your sitemap, and then you're going to submit it. And that's going to help you rank on Google within 24 hours, especially for your brand name. If you aren't showing up for your own brand name, like, can't even help you, but this is going to help you. All right. So for trick number 4, we're going to use the power of Reddit. This is the fun stuff. I really do enjoy, the creative aspect of this business. I'm definitely more of a right brain, as we kind of learned yesterday from Athena. So using the power of Reddit, who here actually uses Reddit for personal uses? Does anyone use it for business? Yeah. Okay. A couple people. I know, Altman yesterday, he was talking about Reddit as well. Super powerful. It definitely is an underrated platform. So the first thing that we need to understand is that Amazon actually loves external traffic. And we all know that so much that they reward it. So some of you guys already know about, Amazon's brand referral bonus program. Essentially, they give you a kickback for any sales that are coming through your attribution link through social media or other external platforms. But a lot of us have heard things about, Facebook, how to use Instagram to leverage, and how to use Pinterest, email marketing, all things like that. But I've never really heard people talk about Reddit, other than yesterday, actually, with Altman's presentation. Killed it, by the way. So today, I really do want to focus on this underrated platform, Reddit. Okay, so there is a tool called Advite, fairly new. So a lot of you guys, we've kind of been beta testing it ourselves in our own businesses. And the founder actually used this exact framework to launch, scale, and sell his brand, which is in the UV space. It's basically like a patch that you can detect the amount of sunscreen, and it tells you when to reapply. So Advite basically uses AI. I know AI has been thrown around a lot this conference, and for good reason, but it uses AI to scrape social media, specifically Reddit, as well as X, formerly known as Twitter. And soon it's going to be actually used for help a reporter out. I know it was mentioned earlier. But basically what it does is it scrapes Reddit for all of the different threads and subthreads, and it's actually going to send you direct links for anything that's relevant to your brand or to a specific product or a problem. So we like to set it up for scouring for problems and people asking for solutions. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I have a specific problem or something that I think is unique to me or something that like is weird and obscure, and I'm like, I've got to be the only one that's having this problem. Well, I usually go straight to Reddit, and lo and behold, there's always someone that has had that similar situation or same problem as me. And the best part is I can read up on all of the solutions that people have been recommending on those threads. So, for example, when we got a puppy during COVID, I think everyone and their dog got a dog during COVID, but he was a mutt and he was starting to lose so much hair. We knew that he was a mix. So he was like a Pomeranian Shih Tzu Chihuahua Poodle mix, and he does have quite a few hypoallergenic mixes in him. So we were like, why is he losing so much hair? This is actually crazy. And turns out my dog, since he is Pomeranian, he was experiencing something called the uglies, which if you don't know, Pomeranians, when they're like a teenager, they're like going through their angsty teenager phase and they're just losing a lot of hair and they look really, really funny. I don't know why they call it ugly, because it is kind of cute. But basically, I went straight to Reddit and was able to find all of these forums. And I actually learned that this is a common thing amongst Pomeranian owners. And I spent like $200 on just random crap from Amazon of things that people recommended, because I was like, I need him to be my golden boy again and make sure that he was growing his fur back right. So here's just an example of a organic, just thread on Reddit. So this is related to the skincare brand because, it's such an incredible tool. And the sunscreen patch basically used this strategy. So basically, once he scraped Reddit, found all of these different subthreads, he would insert himself into the conversation using ghost accounts. So it doesn't have to be your own account. You would make multiple accounts. You can essentially create your own army of people that rave your product. So this is very easily done. You can hire VAs to be able to do this for you. But Advite makes it very, very easy. So you don't have to go searching for those yourself. But in real time, you'll get actually sent alerts through a Slack channel of all the different links and things that you can interact with. And a lot of them are going to be very recent. So the coolest thing is that this is a really great SEO tool because, these recommendations actually live on the internet for eternity. And other people who are searching for a similar situation that come across that thread, they could potentially buy your product. So here's just a little conversation about some of the people kind of recommending or saying, oh, I bought this product. And then someone else actually came in and linked the product. So it wasn't even him. It was someone else that was like, oh, here's a link. Make it easier for you. I don't recommend posting, direct links on Reddit. It's an easy way to get banned as well. But, you can let other people do your bidding for you. All right. And for my final trick, I'm going to show you guys how to create your own keywords out of thin air. I'm going to basically, instead of trying to rank for keywords that have so much competition, the high volume keywords that have like hundreds of thousands or even just tens of thousands of searches per month, we're going to create our own high volume keywords that have virtually zero competition because it doesn't exist. You're going to create it. And because of that, you will own and dominate that keyword. And I'm not talking about branded keywords. First, we got to understand that attention is shifting and content is ever evolving. So if you take a look at two of the biggest names in the space for content creation, they're doubling down on long form content, and for good reason. So you got Mr. Beast. He's talking about long form content and how they do so much better. Or Mozzie, he's now going to be focusing on a lot more long-form content. This is all recent stuff that they posted as well. So no more 15-second or 30-second videos on TikTok. Instead, we're going to focus on creating content that is at least 2 minutes, ideally between 2 and 5 minutes long. And guess what? You guys don't even have to be in it, which is great because for me, I don't know about you, I'm super awkward in front of a camera, but that's probably because I just haven't figured out my attractive character or charisma style yet. So excited to learn more from Mikal on, on what character I fit. And I especially love this type of content creation that I'm about to show you because I don't have to actually be in it. I don't have to have my voice in it. I don't have to show my face. I don't even have to show the product, guys. Like, this is actually crazy. So I'm going to share my secret sauce with you. We're going to be using Reddit and combining the confession style Reddit threads. Has anyone seen like a confession style thread? Like the Am I the Asshole threads, or you kind of go down a rabbit hole and you start reading them and you don't want to stop reading it because it's just so interesting. So using that kind of same framework, we're going to actually turn them into videos to create what's called a viral story. And these viral stories, we're going to subliminally get people to purchase your product from you. So here's just an example of a viral story that we posted, which got a lot of attention. And people were commenting, asking what the product was. And as you know, supplements is not a very sexy category to sell, and it's hard to market with. I mean, it's so much harder now to do UGC because when you see someone, it's like, oh my God, I use this product. It's so good. You know that they're probably being paid for it. And it does come off a little bit sleazy because, you're just trying to promote a product and you're making it too salesy. Shoppers are smart. Shoppers are becoming a lot more aware, and they can spot a paid sponsorship from a million miles away. I mean, back then, influencer marketing worked so amazing. One of my clients, they actually paid $250,000 to Kylie Jenner for a single grid post. It did end up generating $1 million. However, nowadays, she's going to be charging a lot more, probably $500, $1 million for a single post, and it's not going to yield the same results anymore. So micro influencers is where it's at, or alternatively, you can create your own accounts. And Matt, shared a bunch of secrets on how to create those accounts, and utilizing kind of similar strategies that he talked about yesterday, we can actually rank our viral stories pretty easily. So to create a viral story like the one that I'm about to show you, actually, you can use a platform called Creo. Makes it super easy. Literally, by the end of my presentation, you can probably have a video created for you. It's just that easy. So with Creo, essentially, you can get it to create the script for you. Or you can use ChatGPT if you don't want to subscribe to the premium membership for them to create the script for you, and literally use this prompt. So you're going to ask ChatGPT, write me a Reddit confession style post about a dramatic experience with, you're going to insert the problem that your product solves. And then you're also going to insert the product name that your product is called, but don't include the brand name. So this is very important. You do need a clever product name. I know we spend so much time building a brand name, but product names are just as important, and without sounding like you're selling the product. So make it entertaining and a long thread that takes 5 minutes to read. And then from here, ChatGPT is going to do its magic. It's going to spit out a story for you. You can fix it if you want. If there's a specific type of story that you want, you can obviously get more granular with it. But this is going to give you a good framework of a script that you can literally plug in to Creo and create a video. So then in Creo, they actually have a bunch of preloaded background videos. And these are all like gamified. I don't know. Maybe I'm on like the weird side of TikTok where I get all of these videos where I see like, the Minecraft parkour where they're just like jumping and it's like a video, but then it's a bunch of text on the screen. But I always get suckered into it because I'm like 40 seconds into it. I'm like, I have to see how this ends. So I end up watching the whole thing and it's like a 5-minute goddamn video. And 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back, but at least I was entertained for those 5 minutes. So if you use backgrounds like these, things that kind of like change rapidly, because apparently we're all having ADHD, and we have very short attention spans, but we like being drawn into these long stories. You would pick something that's similar to like a Minecraft parkour video. If you don't want to use any of the ones on Creo, you can actually YouTube Minecraft parkour, free use videos, things like, or things that are copyright free, and you can download them, rip them using things like Y2 YouTube rippers, things like that. Download it, use that, and you can use it for your background videos for these viral stories. So who wants to see an example? Yeah? I need to hear a little bit louder. A little bit more excitement? Okay, perfect. You asked and you shall receive. All right, so here's just an example of the one that we posted less than 2 weeks ago. So,
doctors, what's one time your patient gave me medical advice? I had a patient with the worst eating habit known to mankind, but I was getting ready to start fighting his funeral. He always ate fast food, rewarded himself with a sweet treat after every meal, and drank after every minor inconvenience and flight. As you can imagine, he was severely overweight, but his eating habits did more than make him gain weight. He said he was experiencing fatigue even though he never did anything, was always tired in the afternoon, had a bad case of brain fog. He was always losing concentration and it was affecting his job, and his mood was always bad, so he was hurting his relationships with people. Though, the huge issue was that he was experiencing pain in the upper right side of his abdomen. I recognized the symptoms immediately and concluded that he had a fatty liver. Since 25% of Americans have fatty liver disease, I've been seeing many patients with the same symptoms lately. This happens because the majority of people eat fried and processed foods and drink too much alcohol. Fast food restaurants are always filled to the brim, even though people know that our bodies can't withstand large quantities of processed foods. It is unavoidable that those foods will damage your body's vital organs and create diseases like type 2 diabetes and cancer that you wouldn't have if you just ate right. But first, all those unhealthy ingredients will convert to fat and choke the liver. Some people aren't even aware that what they eat will always have an effect on their liver. In fact, most people don't even know that their liver is slowly dying until it's too late, since the disease is a silent killer. So next time you're thinking of getting anything from a fast food restaurant, think about how all that grease will build up on your liver and choke. It might taste good in the moment, but you and your liver will grow in size, and it would be extremely difficult to move that weight on those days. Luckily, there is a way to check if you have a fatty liver at home, and it's by doing something called a waist-to-height ratio. You have to measure the circumference around your waist, right at the level of your belly button. If that measurement is more than half of your height, there's a pretty good risk that you have a fatty liver. The best numbers are closer to 0.4 to 0.45, but 0.5 is the level at which you are at risk. Unfortunately, the damage had already been done for my patient, and based on his symptoms, I could only assume that his fatty liver was already cutting oxygen from the brain. I ran other tests to make sure he actually had a fatty liver, and when I saw that he did, I prescribed him medication to reduce the amount of fat in his liver. I also explicitly told him to change his lifestyle to a much healthier one. 3 months later, my patient came back and I tested him to see the results of the medication. I noticed that his fatigue disappeared just by the way he carried himself. He didn't look tired or on the verge of falling asleep. He seemed like he had energy now, and I assumed he also got the motivation to go to the gym because he lost some weight. It wasn't a huge weight loss since it's harder for people with fatty liver to lose weight, but if he continued, he would definitely get to a healthier weight. My patient also told me that his brain fog went away, so he was concentrating a lot better at work. He wasn't getting yelled at for forgetting to do something or falling asleep on the job. Not being screamed at every day also improved his mood, and it let him interact more with people. I asked him if he had changed or died like I suggested, but he said no, since he would genuinely tweak if he didn't have a sweet treat. But he started drinking in moderation now, and he didn't feel like his liver was going to burst. This surprised me because he's not supposed to be drinking at all, and if he did, he would feel a frothing more, stabbing pain that would be unbearable for the liver. When I got the result on his liver, I noticed that the weight it had on his liver has significantly decreased. I have never
All right, this is like a 4-minute video. I don't know. Does anyone want to see till the end or? Anyway, so that video actually yielded over 1.2 million views, almost 100,000 likes, almost 19,000 saves. And in the first day that we posted it, we actually got 673 purchases for our product and over $70,000 in revenue just in the first week of running that video. So even after it kind of, things like this is not going to be sustainable, but it is going to give you that boost. And we're still selling over 50 units a day, even after going viral just organically.
What just happened? I literally lost. How these 4 minutes or 5 minutes lead to this?
That is a very good question. So I will explain. So that video, I know it seems very strange, but TikTok has a way of finding people and targeting the right people. And that video, obviously we didn't see the whole thing, but people usually will stick through it and watch the whole thing. And throughout it, we do sprinkle our product name, which I can send you the video if you want to actually see how it ends. If I know it's like a cliffhanger for not knowing how that ends, but if you want to get that closure. But basically we make it as organic as possible. So it makes it sound like you're not actually selling something, but when we have it mentioned like once or twice, we're not going to like completely bombard it. People are going to go back and try to watch it again to figure out what it was that we were talking about. And not only that, but people are going to start commenting on it and be like, what was the vitamin? What was the supplement? And then other people are going to be like, oh, it's this. And then when other people see other people comment what it was, they're going to start doing your bidding for you. If you want to get the ball rolling yourself, you can have a bunch of ghost accounts and start commenting stuff yourself. Like, oh my gosh, like my mom used this and she had these results, yada, yada, yada. And then other people are going to be like, oh, like what's the product called? And then at that point, you can then say, oh, this is what the product's called. You should buy the one from this brand. You can just search it on Amazon. And then that's going to send people looking for your product. And not only that, but it's going to create a keyword for you. So you need to be pretty strategic on what you name this product as well, because that's going to help you create that keyword. So you kind of have to have that foresight. So the keyword that we were dropping in that video was the everyday liver vitamin. Nowhere do we mention the brand name, so it's not salesy whatsoever. And basically, we were able to create a keyword that has over 20,000 searches a month. Obviously, it's leveled out a little bit now, but still, to be able to create a keyword that has tens of thousands of searches is incredible. And not only that, but you dominate that keyword because no one else is ranking for that keyword. And even if they do, you're going to be number one. So I'm going to break down the framework on what makes a good viral story. So the first thing is your verbal and text hook. First of all, you're going to need a very strong hook. And in the beginning, it was basically like a Reddit style thread. So it shows it as if it was like a screenshot from a thread on Reddit that said, doctors, what's one thing that patients have taught you? Obviously doctors are supposed to be experts in their field, but what's one thing that someone learned from one of their patients? And that was the hook, essentially. So that's something that should grab your attention, and then it should be intriguing. It should be highly relevant to your target audience, and you want to think of it as that magical spark that draws people and makes them want to read or watch more. So the other thing is that a lot of people watch TikToks without sound, so it's good to have text, and the fact that the text is it just flashes on screen, it kind of keeps people's attention. For the script and the story, this is going to be the heart of your content. It has to be entertaining. It has to be, often involving the problem and then having some sort of solution, at least near the end. Keep people wanting more. And the key is you want to also keep it visually interesting in order to maintain that viewership. So that's why we use videos like Minecraft videos, parkour, jumping videos, or, like those video games where it's like a car and it's just driving and it's going off-road, things like that. Things that are constantly changing rapidly because your brain is just like taking in all the stimulation. Number 4 is you do need a catchy product name. So while your brand name is not important, is obviously important. It's even more important that you strategize what you would call your product. So on your product label, obviously you want to have a product name. Some people, will call it, like, for example, this was the Everyday Liver Vitamin. It's something that customers can search. And the key is not to mention your brand name, and you can watch the comments go crazy as people try to figure out what brand they should buy from. In terms of SEO and comments, this is also super important because you need to make sure that not only is your story or your product is optimized for every search engine. So Google, that's why sitemaps are important. You want to make sure that you're showing up for those keywords or the keyword that you plan on, pulling out of thin air and putting it on Amazon. And you're going to include this in any relevant keywords naturally throughout your content. And you're going to engage with those comments in the comment section using farmed accounts or ghost accounts and not the actual brand account or the account that you're posting from, because you want to make it seem like it's an organic conversation from a bunch of strangers on the internet. All right. But that pretty much wraps up my 5 tricks for today. Hopefully you guys got some value and are able to add some magic to your businesses. If you want to connect, I'm on social media, or feel free to scan the QR code and you can download the slides as well as some bonuses for you. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have a magical day.